Was a planet ever expelled from the solar system aside from Pluto? The gravitational pull of the Sun allows the 8 planets of the solar system to be gracefully positioned in their orbits. However, did our solar system initially give birth to just 8 planets? Were other planets created in our solar system? We would have believed that there were additional planets, some enormous and others the size of Mars, based on our studies of other solar systems. One giant, who most likely was expelled from our solar system. Where are they now and what happened to them? Was it possible that our solar system too contained a ghost planet? If so, where is it right now? Why can't we see it right now? We'll talk briefly about the ghost planet, the missing giant of our solar system, in today's video. Our solar systems and the planet's formation. Most people in the modern world would suppose that everything we see around us, from the enormous sun to the smallest bit of rock, from Saturn's stunning ring to the bright white moon, all of it created 5 billion years ago in the solar nebula along with the birth of our solar system. You might find it hard to believe, but the solar nebula only made about 0.002% of the total mass of our solar system as we know it today. When our sun was born, the remaining matter was violently blown away. All of the planets that we can now view formed roughly 4.6 billion years ago. Following the formation of the sun, materials in the accretion disk that was farther from the sun also gathered together, forming clumps of rocks that later came together through collisions to form planets. The planets that are visible to us were not the only ones to originate, though. They were the only ones to survive the things that happened after these planets were made. Giant gas planets like Jupiter first built a solid core before engulfing a vast atmosphere. In contrast to the gas giants, the inner 4 planets had a lot of molten rocky material at their disposal. As a result, these planets first developed a molten core that then gathered additional cosmic dust and elements to create a substantial planetesimal mass. Further collisions between these planets sent material into space. With the help of this debris, natural satellites like our moon, which was produced by the collision of our planet with a planet comparable to Mars, were created. As a result, the weak planets were annihilated, leaving only the greatest ones. Other cosmic objects like meteors, asteroids, and comets were created from some of the leftover material. The idea of survival of the fittest also applies to the universe. Salutations, and remember that you are among the best people in the entire universe. The entire amount of material that wasn't utilized to create planets was tossed into outer space. The Kuiper Belt and the Oort cloud were created as a result of some of this material being gathered by the sun billions of kilometers away. 10 major planets are still standing, enduring the chaos of the universe, along with numerous more dwarf planets and planets like Pluto. The planets eventually self-stabilized into a stable orbit around the sun. For millions of years, the stability period went through many stages. How did everything else, including our giant 9th planet, end up? As we previously established, the cosmos also adheres to the principle of survival of the best. The majority of the planets were destroyed by collisions with one another, which sent a significant amount of material into space. Some of this material accumulated and created the asteroid belt, which we now refer to as a disk that encircled the sun. The existence of the ghost planet in our solar system was, nevertheless, proved by certain studies carried out by a group of bright astronomers. A team at the Southwest Research Institute led by astronomer David Nesvorn undertook a number of simulations in 2011 to learn more about planet orbits in the early conditions of our solar system. The focus of the study was on how planets might move from one stable orbit to another while interacting with nearby cosmic elements, which could change the size of a planet's orbit. The stability of the solar system did not always exist as it does today. The 5 outer giant planets, including the ghost giant, were engaged in a gravitational tug-of-war during the solar system's unstable period. The nice model instability was the term given to this time of solar system instability. The nice model instability hypothesis, which is a whole other issue, will be covered at some point in the future. This notion rattled the fundamental foundations of solar system theories, leading astronomers to wonder if there was a ninth planet and whether Neptune and Uranus had switched places in the solar system. It would be best to debate these questions in the future. The astronomers ran their calculations and came to the conclusion that there were 5 outer planets, not the 4 that we can currently see. After several unsuccessful efforts, they concluded that the 5th giant's mass was comparable to Uranus, and they anticipated that its orbit would place it between Uranus and Neptune. Nesvoren also made several specific assumptions in order to align the final conclusions with our current knowledge of the solar system. 1. It was thought that the orbits of the 4 giants were similar to their current orbits in several ways. 2. 4 planets were supposed to remain in the final calibration of the planets. 3. The eccentric centers of the 5 planets served as the basis for the 3rd requirement. The mathematical concept of eccentricity describes how elliptical, or, to put it another way, how ovoid, the orbit of a planet will be. The models suggested that the ejection of the giant took place roughly 600 million years after the solar system was formed, or during the period of solar system instability, which is very comparable to our expectations. The remaining planets subsequently reached their current orbits and stabilized. But why was it hurled into a remote part of space far from our house? Nesvoren was able to conclude from his findings that Jupiter and Saturn were going to be crucial in the 5th giant's expulsion from our solar system. We need to grasp how gravitational kicking from one planet impacts the other in order to comprehend how this could occur. Be patient and have faith in us as we go over this term in more detail in this video. Now, returning to the hypothesis, take into consideration 2 celestial planets, in this instance, Jupiter and the lost giant. When everything was chaotic in the beginning, Jupiter made the decision to have some fun. It wandered and kicked anything in its path as it traveled a little bit outside of its original orbit around the Sun. Since other materials were present in our solar nebula, most of the objects were in a state of turmoil, changing orbits, and many other things, so we don't mean it literally when we say it was having fun. That was also true of Jupiter. Jupiter's interaction with the giant planet resulted from this. But other objects were also interacting with the giant planet in addition to Jupiter. The massive planet was also kicked by other celestial bodies, including Saturn and Neptune. For the sake of simplicity, let's define kicking as the violent interaction between 2 celestial bodies, during which they both attempt to maintain their current orbits, and as a result, whenever they come into contact with each other, the more massive planet, being more dominant, pushes the less dominant planet further away in space for the sake of self-stability. In this video, we'll utilize this phrase once more. The plot twists for both Jupiter and the ghost planet occur here. Every time the ghost planet encountered Jupiter, Saturn, and the other giants, they would kick it with their gravitational pull, forcing its orbit farther and farther from the Sun. Jupiter finally kicked it so hard that it would never again be as close to the Sun as it once was. Although it was in an orbit that was too vast to monitor, it wasn't truly thrown out of the Sun's orbit. From that point on, the planet's interactions with other stars outside of our solar system and the combined gravitational pull of those stars pulled it farther away from us, dragging it into a silent eternity of wandering through the vast, silent darkness of the universe, untouched by all of its events. Further instances of planets being thrown outside of their solar systems. Like us humans, the ghost planet is not the only planet in our universe that is thousands of miles from its original location. More planets are departing their own solar systems, according to recent discoveries, for a variety of causes, from instability to the distance factor. Even though these instances are uncommon, several planets have been found to have orbits that are greater than the orbit of our Oort cloud. Astronomers were undoubtedly puzzled by the ghost planet, but we were never less interested in fact-checking. Thanks to our friends, the Hubble and James Webb telescopes, we are currently observing thousands of solar system formations as of this date. Conclusion: can we really conclude that this is all there was to the lost giant? Was this the only explanation that the ghost planet could have left our field of vision? Or, did the lost planet ever exist and belong to our solar system? Is it not possible that the ghost planet was an extraterrestrial wandering planet whose direction of motion was altered by its interaction with our solar system and was never a part of our solar system? Is it not possible that the ghost giant, which is our sun's 9th planet, is still in orbit? We'll leave any questions up to you. Additionally, don't be shy away to voice your concerns in the comment section. We like hearing from our audience and respond to all comments. Additionally, keep spreading the love on our channel. It aids in the creation of additional intriguing themes like this.